Goody goody everyone, this is Dayhawk bringing to you episode 46 of Shaman King 2001. Ah, so we've discovered who are the two kids who were spying on the yo-yos as they were going somewhere as a group, and a little bit about that later, but this episode officially restarts the tournament, and we get to see Gaine and these two kids. Well, I don't need to further explain here, but I did say I'm gonna explain later. But you can ask, why is Gaine in this tournament with two kids? Well, I'll tell you about that soon. So, the episode begins with Team Moon and Team Tsubasa. And Team Moon consists of three of House followers, and we all know what happens there. Team Moon kind of slaughters the other team and how is pleased of their results. And then this cuts into the scene with the store name of Patchwork Shop 2. Oh Lord. Seriously, the Patch need to fix up their names, because Patchwork Shop 2? Is there a Patchwork Shop 3? I know there is. Anyway, you see Anna looking at keychains, and she spots one, but unfortunately she doesn't buy it. And then Tao Ju and then Pylon just looks inside while these two shadowy figures are spying on them. And of course, June and Pylon just notice that, and so they come up with some excuse to just go somewhere, because they kind of figured they were spying on them. So they went on their way, and Anna, like, you can't get away from Anna. Like, you can't, because Anna summons the fox and the bear, as she calls them, and tells them to go to Yo and deliver some kind of message for her. And you see them just doing rock, paper, scissors, and Anna's like gave that look. Yeah, you know what happens next. And so Pylon and June went to this place and just calls those people that they were the people that are spying on them to come out, and they're just two kids. And these two kids ends up summoning their shaman, and let's just say it wasn't good. Meanwhile, the yo-yos are just hanging around, and they talk about their team names, and Enren just registered a name that poor Choco Love and Horo never agreed, and Ren just registered themselves as Team the Ren. And poor Horo's just going ballistic. It's like, I did not agree to this, and why does it have to be the title of our group be like your name on it? And Ren, he's just like, I don't like to be in a group, but I will do it if I have to. Just you two just stay back and I will do all the work. He's not a team player. He's not. And so after they were discussing their new team names, you see the fox and the bear all wrapped up in bandages because you know what happens when you defy Anna. And so they said that we have a problem, and then it leads to poor Pylon getting beaten by these two kids. And luckily, the yo-yos come to Pylon and Tao Jun's rescue. And then poor Yo, he's like trying to be peacemaker. It's like, and Ren is like, you need to stay out of this. You need to stay out of this because apparently the kids noticed that Ren was in their group and they shouted out his name, so apparently the kids know him somehow. Anyway, so Yo was trying to be peacemaker and ask, like, the number one question: why are you two that angry anyway? And Ren is like, didn't I say you need to stay out of this? You need to listen to other people, man. But the kids try to attack Ren, but Gaine stops the kids from attacking. And then Gaine was telling her side of the story. Apparently, after the events of China, after Ren decides to form his own path away from his old one, Gaine and her family were, you could say, disregarded, betrayed somehow, because in their eyes they felt betrayed by Ren, because I think they felt like he turned away from the path of, hatred, or like he changed. Obviously he changed, and they felt like because of Ren turning away from his old path, they have been disregarded, and just, I don't know, that like they have no use for them, because Gaine, I think, is one of the people who help out the Tao family, and their ways are no longer their ways. And you see her like fall off a cliff. She felt like she lost everything. And after she was giving this speech about what happened to her, the young sister, because now we get like her whole family, like there's Gaine, the little sister, and the little brother, so they're a family, and the little sister's crying her eyes out, but not by her story, but she says, and I quote, "Because of you," she's blaming Ren, "that my sister hasn't had a boyfriend in 28 years." And what's worse is that the little brother is crying too, but tells everyone to give my big sister her youth back. Oh my god. If I had a sad story like hers, and I have my own siblings telling me that I haven't had a girlfriend in 28 years, and my other sibling is telling everyone that you need to get my youth, you give him back his youth back, I would be so embarrassed. It's like, guys, seriously, what the hell? So after that mess, Chocolove receives a notification saying that they have a match against Team Noroshi, and apparently Noroshi is Gaine and her sister and brother. Yeah. And so they are the main reason why they participated in the tournament is to get revenge on Ren. And that's it. They are determined to defeat him, and then during the night, we get to see Ren just looking at the stars while Tao Jun is really worried about him, because it's gonna be hard to face people who've been in the family for years. And how would you go around it and try to fix things? Because in my opinion, and I'm sure yours is too, is Ren has done nothing wrong. He was down the wrong path for a long time until Yo helped him find his way, that his way wasn't right, and he wants to forge his own path and just break away from the cycle of hatred. That's what he said. And now he doesn't know what to do. And so the next day they have their match. And so Ren tells Horo and Chocolove to stand back. I will handle this on my own. And you see him in his battle position, but then he does not do anything. He just takes the attacks. He's being in defense mode and he's not doing anything. And Gaine is asking, are you giving out your life to atone for your sins? And he's like, no, I'm gonna find a way to defeat you. It's just he's finding a way to... I don't know what Ren's plan is yet until later on, but you get to see Ren just lay down his spear and just go ahead, take your best shot. And Yo kind of figured it out. It's his way of taking all the pain in his opponent's heart with his body. Like he's taking the blunt of everything. And Ren points it out too, that I didn't think it was me who planted the hatred in you. And for that, I am sorry. And it's the first time that you see Ren being this way. He's very stubborn, and he's the type of person who doesn't want to admit that he's wrong. But in this case, he openly apologizes, and for any ill will he may or may have done. And he swears on the sword that was given to him by his father that I will do right. And please trust in me that we will take the Tao family name to a different path. which kind of gives hope to Gaine. And so the match restarts, and you get to see Gaine and Ren having this matchup for reals this time. And it was an amazing match for what it was, because even though Ren was gained this power boost from Hao's book, Gaine was like holding her own, and they were looked like they were evenly matched. And then and you see that happiness, the smile opening up, that she may be able to trust in Ren again. And you could see the reaction in her face. And of course, Ren defeats Gaine, and he just walks, like he walks like injured, because all that everything that he received from all three took a toll on him. You could see his scratch and bruises everywhere. And as he walked past Yo, his last words were, polish that sword of yours, because I'm gunning for you. And then he ends up collapsing, and with a smile on his face, believe it or not. And that's the end of the episode. Unfortunately, we won't see Gaine or her brother and sister in the reboot, because I assume that they're not in the manga. It's just they're not in the manga, so I assume it's only for this version of the anime. So no Gaine in the reboot, unfortunately, in this episode. Unfortunately, he's not gonna be in the reboot. But I enjoyed it because it just goes to show how much Ren changed for the better. And just in the beginning of that match, he just took everything, every hit, every cut from Gaine and her brother and sister. And afterward, he made a pledge on the sword saying that I'm gonna take you guys to this new way of life, and if I took you down the wrong path because I was in the wrong path myself, then I do apologize. He was sorry. And that's something that you never get to hear from Ren's mouth, because we all know how stubborn he is. But I'm happy that I like this episode, because again, it just shows how changed Ren is, and that he will take his people to a different path once he becomes king. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy this review / recap, and I will see you all on the other side of oblivion. Johnny!